We're going to move past video games and we're going to talk about Lizzo.
Great.
What? Say that again?
Great.
Okay, perfect.
Why?
Dane's hateful.
Why are we talking about Lizzo?
Because Lizzo says that she doesn't believe in monogamy.
That's crazy.
That is
Look,
crazy.
I'm gonna say something that maybe like perhaps Brett feels he is not allowed to say as a man. Who was trying to date you anyway, Lizzo?
She's in a relationship.
But she said she's not in a monogamous relationship.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, she's in a non-traditional relationship with Mike Wright. Monogamy is a little bit claustrophobic.
Who was pushing Lizzo to be monogamous, though? I want to know.
The best part is when you get to the end of the article, she contradicts herself entirely and makes the whole thing irrelevant, which is my favorite part because it proves to you how addled so much of this is.
The best thing is like they call themselves like ethically non-monogamous.
So it says U.S. singer Lizzo has said traditional relationships scare her and that she can love someone forever in a relationship with no rules, which means they just want all of the fun and none of the actual work and commitment.
Look, it's not. She's fundamentally not understanding it because it's not a rule. It's just the definition of a relationship
and being a decent person.
I think it's too close to a diet for her.
I was literally gonna say that. I was like, why does she hate rules so much? Because she can't cut out the carbs.
I'm back, boys.
But I was like, maybe that's too far. But Dane went there.
The singer-songwriter told the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club, Power 105 FM studio, hosted by DJ Envy, Charlemagne the God, and Angel Yee
Can't
yesterday.
stand Charlemagne.
That although she is not
so annoying.
She says that she is not polyamorous. She does not though she is not polyamorous. She doesn't believe in monogamy. It's like Schrodinger's Lizzo. Are you multiple people, 0 people, 1 people? Who knows? I think a traditional relationship scares me for 10 years, but love is forever. I can love somebody forever. Lizzo, whose real name is Melissa Vivian Jefferson, said on the YouTube channel, monogamy, I think, is a little bit claustrophobic. I think because there's the rules. I think a love relationship that's not monogamous has no rules, the 34-year-old went on to say. I think people who do poly and all that stuff, there's still rules. I don't want any rules. She doesn't even want to be polyamorous. She just wants to be bleh.
The reason that they make a point to call it ethically non-monogamous is because the default is unethically non-monogamous. Yep. It precludes lying to people.
The admission may not come as news to many of her fans, and the iconic singer is not shy of flirting with other celebrities online, such as Harry Styles and Chris Evans. Lizzo,
it's those two.
I saw an article earlier today that says Chris Evans is laser focused on finding a partner, so maybe we need to hook these two up. I'm sure they would make a great couple.
She can steal Joseph Quinn from Doja Cat.
He's such a grandstanding loser that I bet he'd be like, yeah, she's a beautiful woman. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, of course. I mean, so is Harry Styles.
Lizzo later...
It says a lot that she really likes the effeminate ones.
Lizzo later opened up to the popular show about her current partner, Mike Wright. I also have the most genuine people around me, she said. They don't give a crap about an S about Lizzo with the chain on. They care about Melissa, and everyone I'm close to has known me before all of this happened, and I think that that's important. Well, she's right about that. It is important that when you reach a certain level of success, you know, knowing who your friends are and knowing who really gives a crap about you is an important thing. Even the man I'm with, he knew me before all of this. We were friends, she added. It hit different when they knew me before 2019. This is the other one is in the second article.
Ew, I hate this quote where she says, being in a relationship without rules doesn't mean she is out here effing and bleeping and bleeping.
Yes. She's learned to accept love and has changed her perspective on life and saved her from ending up in a lonely, anxious place. Instead, the award-winning artist said finding love brought her to a healthier, to a safe, happier place. But there's something in this other article that I want to point out. You go through all of this. She says monogamy, I think, is a little claustrophobic. I think there's the rule. I think because there's rules. I think a love relationship that's non-monogamous has no rules. I think people who do poly and all that stuff, there's still rules. I don't want any rules, she said. But that doesn't mean I'm out here effing and essing and D'ing.
If you can even guess,
I'll highlight it
remotely
there,
what that means.
I highlighted it right there. It doesn't mean he is either. It just means there are no expectations, and that's in that way, love gets to be just the main event.
Dude, everyone I know that's in an open relationship is freaking. Oh yeah, I lived in DC.
No, this is okay. So it says
freaking miserable.
Angela Lee Yee asks, "What if your boyfriend was like, I just want us to be in a monogamous relationship, just me and you. I don't want you to be with anyone else." This is where she says, "We can still have that, just not call it monogamy."
It's all about
words matter.
Yeah, it's about the abuse of language.
Yes,
she doesn't want words to mean anything.
It's the number one complaint I have whenever we do IRL. It's that the world as we know it is trying to completely denigrate and destroy the concept of what language actually does for us as a society.
This is also just the epitome of, like, not just because she is a celebrity, but because she is put on a pedestal of representation and body positivity because she is overweight. She thinks she is, like, deserving of people's time on her terms, and only her terms,
which is selfish,
of course. And I don't like that as a pop star, she is influencing people with comments like this, to think that this is, like, reflective of their ordinary lives.
It's why this show matters, to prove to you that whether you like it or not, the average person doesn't give a crap what AOC is saying.
And they don't operate on Lizzo's rule, like her rules. She has rules that there can't be any rules.
Can I share a little story?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, back in 2017. Way back, I was in a dinner at my ex's, like, friend's house. It was like a close dinner. It was me, my ex, her friend, and another couple, right? Because no one else showed up because she's a loser. Anyway,
whoa,
my bad. I mean, no one knows what I'm talking about.
All right.
Okay, we're having fun here. It's pop culture crisis. Anyway,
we're having fun here.
We're having fun
we're
here.
Also getting close to a crisis
of others. So. We're just literally eating steaks and drinking tequila, and, like, the chick it's in this relationship, she just starts talking about how they're both in, like, an open relationship, and basically, like, her argument is that, like, listen, there's no way that just this guy, like, sexually satisfies me, and, like, he's just there, like. By the way, the guy had a shirt of his face on.
What?
I swear to God,
this doesn't sound real.
Dude. Like, he had a shirt of his face on and, like, his, like, frat boy days, and it was like, the party animal, like. And then she's talking about how all her students thought she was hot and would always tell her. These are the people, guys. These are the people that teach your children. Anyway, so she just keeps going on and on about, like, honestly, it's like, when you think about it, like, just one man does not sexually satisfy you. Like, try as I might, he just doesn't. And he's just there, like, nodding his head like he's, like, AOC's boyfriend. Like, yes,
whatever
absolutely.
you say, queen.
Yeah, like, yes, queen,
just
dish.
horrible.
And it's like,
that's what people say, is there's always one person in every open relationship that doesn't like it.
There's a really good episode of the show House that takes on that talks about open relationships, about how the only reason the guy would let the woman be in an open relationship is if he was doing something really devious that was worse than cheating, and it ends up being true. And basically it turns out, like, he lost his job and hasn't been able to pay for their health insurance, and they've been basically living on credit cards for a year, and he never told her that they'd screwed it all up. So in the episode, the lady talks about how she felt morally superior to all her friends because they were open with each other, but it turned out they were just another miserable lying couple, just like everyone else.
House is kind of ahead of its time.
If you want to watch a based television show, you need to go watch every season of House.
So the thing is, like, after we have this dinner, right, we start playing board games, and we split up, like, me and my girl at the time, and, like, them two, and it's like a game about communication where, like, you have to give hints and the person, like, fills out a word, right? And they were absolutely they got 0 words. I finished the whole game with my ex, and, like, they got 0 words, and it's like, I gotta tell you, like, the pain in this guy's eyes as she was like giving her whole spiel, I'll never forget it. Because it was totally like what I imagine Chris Evans would be if he didn't have like a career. Like broken people. And like this, I think this is her. That back to Lizzo. I think this is her trying to be like, I know all of you make fun of me because of like my weight issues, but like I'm sexual. I'm so sexual that not only one guy can handle me. You know, like I need to break the rules.
So Charlemagne then asked her what she'd call it, because this is where she says we'd still have that, we just wouldn't call it monogamy. She literally says we'll have a monogamous relationship. We just won't call it monogamy. He says, what would you call it? She says, just love. I just love you. I'm not worried about nobody else, she added. I'm not worried about anybody else sexually, romantically, emotionally. I'm just worried about you. I'm just thinking about you. The goal here, though, is that when she's done worrying about you, thinking about you, being attracted to you, she can move on without repercussions or problems.
Yeah, I think that this is like... what I was getting to is just that... how am I allowed to say this? Like, women these days, like... have such an overinflated sense of their value. Lizzo being an excellent example of that.
At least she's rich, dude.
Okay,
well, that's literally all that she brings to the table.
I mean,
though. That's it.
One of the interesting was some of the comments. One of the interesting things was some of the comments were just like, translation: he sleeps around and I just put up with it. So they're saying they're putting the onus on the dude
everyone
here.
is putting their own interpretation of it onto what she's saying, but ultimately everyone knows something is off about it.
I mean, in the words of our fearless leader, some guys like fat chicks.
By that you mean not Jordan Peterson?
If they're rich.
Tim said that.
Yeah. But Jordan Peterson disagrees with that.
Yeah, not hot.
Not hot.
I'd love to know what Charlemagne said to this.
So I don't know what to think about this other than it just feels like further degradation of like every concept of like culture and what's all the things in the world that make the world what.
Someone in chat says like she's definitely bringing food to the table.
Lots and lots of it.
It feels like one of those things where it's just another example of how all of the things that have changed in society are all the things that make the world feel solid beneath your feet. Does that make sense? Like relationships, the roles between men and women, all things that used to be part of what made the world around you feel solid are being slowly picked away and disintegrated.
And especially by celebrities.
Yes.
I don't like I'm telling you, I don't think they believe the ish they say. Truly, at this point, it's gotten to the point where, like, you have a poor lady being like, you know, I don't want monogamy, but monogamy stupid. The word, you know, like, she's trying to give her little, like, MK Ultra talking points.
It is weasel words.
Yeah, so, like, but, like, there's a part of her that's like, you know, I want the love and the affection and kind of the thing. If he wanted it, I want it too. I just don't like the word. Like, everything is just like, honey, you gotta be different. You gotta be this. You gotta be that. Just don't be normal. Like, guys, being normal is incredibly unnormal right now.
Yeah, it is.
So, you know, it'd be pretty edgy if you'd be like, I'd love to love my woman and only my woman.
That is a revolutionary idea in 2022.
For real.
There's a super chat there.
Yes, Mean Steve 69 said, I'd feel claustrophobic too if I was in a relationship with Lizzo.
Oh.
Oof. Someone had to say it.
Somebody had to say it.
These people are just clearly never called out on their bullshit.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.